Kong Skull Island. Now we have the return of the King of the Jungle and one of the kings of cinema, but unfortunately this is not a movie worthy of this character that has endured for over 100 years. It is decent popcorn munching entertainment, but it doesn't hit the heights of Peter Jackson's 2005 film, which only came out 12 years ago and surprisingly has better special effects than this new take. As for the story, this one is a little bit of a mess, but at least it is a new take on this tale. So we have some investigators who want to find out what is happening on this, uncharted island, and they recruit a disgruntled bunch of Vietnam vets, and so they head in through a storm into Skull Island. Now, once they do get there, this film does have one really rock and roll sequence where Kong goes apeshit and tears up all of these helicopters. And I was watching this and I was thinking, shit, this relatively fresh director who's only ever done one really small movie, Jordan Vogt-Roberts, has a really good handle on visual action. It's really, it's quite visceral stuff and quite mean-spirited. And I was kind of like, this isn't really for kids. People are getting stomped on here. But what lets this movie down is not this new director's visual invention, but instead this script, which is a huge pile of monkey shit. Unfortunately, this movie has great actors, Brie Larson, Tom Hiddleston, Samuel Jackson, John Goodman, and it just leaves them all out to sea. Almost every line in this movie is really on-the-nose exposition. People are like, can I borrow your lighter? And then someone will go, yeah, the one my dad gave me before he left me. It's like terrible, it's eye-rolling stuff. And as for like Brie Larson, I mean, this is an Oscar-winning actress just recently for Room, fantastic performance. But here, she just cannot deal with this CGI in front of her, and she looks completely bewildered by what's going on. It's a really, really bad performance. And any movie that squanders the charm of Tom Hiddleston, what a cinematic crime. I mean, this guy is so charming and so British. And here, he just cannot, he's trying to chew on these lines, but they're so, so bad. And you just flat out do not care about these characters. But that's probably not why you're here, and that's what would elevate this into a great movie. But what you are here for is for the monster action. So despite the kind of a bit of iffy effects here and there, this movie is pretty visceral, and so these characters we don't care about, when they do get stomped on or things thrown down their throat and all kinds of horrible dispatchments, it is kind of, it is pretty rock and roll. So I will give this movie that. So if you just want to go in for the monkey action, there is probably about half an hour of decent stuff within that 2-hour movie, and I would give a special shout out to John C. Reilly, who is quite unhinged and definitely brings a lot of much needed comic relief to this movie. But there is a lot of humor that's meant to be in this movie, and almost every line in it fell flat. The audience I saw it with last night laughed about 3 times, and that was all John C. Reilly stuff. So this is not giving me a huge amount of hope for us getting a masterpiece leading up to Godzilla versus Kong or whatever they have planned next. But if you have to go and see a bit of monster mash action, go check this one out. I would give it 3 stars. It's just okay.